I'm a bad bitch, wavy. Your new bitch, she hate me. Boss that hoe up like I'm Mayweather, baby. Fuck an airplane, I'm tryna hop on a rocket. Little bitch, talk and tell, told that little hoe to stop it.
As we all know in fashion, one day you're in, one day you're out. So this is a Project Runway style video. I'm doing a challenge, which is create some pants for date night. You know, it's gonna be a chill vibe. I'm starting off with something simple, something small. This is my first video. I gave myself 4 hours to create the pants. So from like 3:30 until our dinner reservations was at 7:30, and we were out the door by like 7:15. It was a lot of fun, but very stressful, crazy. Like, I will probably never give myself that short amount of time ever again. Okay, so I only have 3 rules for this challenge, or for all challenges actually that I do in the future. Rule number 1 is I have to wear the item / outfit no matter what, no matter how it looks, no matter what, I have to wear it. And I have to take a picture out wearing it to prove that I wore it. That's one rule. It's kind of 1 and 2, you know, whatever. But rule number 2 is I only can create it in that time frame. I can't start early. Like, I can't do none of that. Like, I have to record every time I'm touching the sewing machine, whatever. I have to record. Like, every time I'm touching the fabric, I have to record. One thing that I didn't do this video, which I wish I would have did, was record myself like going to, you know, the event that I was going to, and going to date night, like what we did for date night. In the future, I will be recording everything, all the moments in the car, like, because like which goes into the 3rd rule. Like, I have, you know, in Project Runway, they have until the model walks the stage. So for me, gotta put a little twist on it. I have until I get to my event or dinner or whatever. I have until I get there to make any little changes, whatever. I didn't record anything in the car because wasn't thinking, you know, it was my first video. I was excited, nervous, everything. So I didn't record that. But in the future, I will record all of that so you guys can see. But I will explain what I did in the car, like in the video. Okay, so I hope you guys enjoy watching this video as much as I enjoyed doing it, even though it was stressful. You know, I had my kids in the background. Well, I had to I muted like the whole thing because my kids was in the background. Like, I muted the whole thing because my kids were in the background going crazy. I have a 5-month-old. She was crying. My 2-year-old was in here stealing my stuff, stealing my tools. And my boyfriend, he was playing the game, being very disrespectful. So I cannot put that on YouTube. But I will be talking over it, you know, explaining all my emotions, feelings, whatever. So, hope you guys enjoy. Let me stop talking. I don't want this intro to be long. Enjoy. Okay, so this is my first time making a video. Look kind of crazy.
I'm crazy.
Kinley, we don't need your 2 cents. But I'm going to make a tutorial on... I'm going to make a tutorial on an outfit that I'm going to wear for tonight.
Oh, another day.
I don't know how this is going to go. As y'all can see, my terrible toddler is bothering me. But here we go. Let's, you know, start from scratch. So this is the fabric I'll be using. It is a 4-way cotton stretch fabric. So at this point, I did not know what I wanted to do. I made pants before, but you know, this is different because now I got 3-4 hours to complete this. Didn't have time to make no pattern pieces. I'm just sitting there staring at the leggings. Like, how do I make these fit the best way possible? Didn't like how I was folded. Because if I folded, then I might take a few inches off. And my pants was going to come out lopsided. So, got up, got some scissors, and decided to deconstruct the entire pair of pants. Cutting it at every seam to make my pattern pieces. Yo, I don't know why I decided to do this when both of my kids were home. Like, my baby was in the background crying. My freaking 2-year-old, she kept coming in stealing my stuff. I kept having to tell her, get out. Like, it was so much going on. Like, I don't even know why. Like, next time, I'm going to try to find a babysitter because that would have saved me a good 45 minutes just from having to get up constantly and, like, do what I needed to do for them. So deconstructing this was actually, I wouldn't say hard, but like trying to cut each seam, like instead of cutting it straight down, I just like pinched it kind of and then cut it that way. And then like it took a little minute, like because every seam, like I was trying to figure out like what seam connected to what to make sure I wasn't cutting things the wrong way. Like, it took longer than I expected it to take. But the outcome was really good. So I was okay with it taking as long as it did. So now I'm laying it flat. Y'all see what I was talking about? You could tell the front from the back, and I could cut it precisely, like exactly where it's supposed to be. And my middle seam won't be to the right or to the left. It's gonna be right in the middle where it's supposed to go. What I realized was after I deconstructed it, I didn't measure where my knee went in the leggings. I should have tried them on, put a mark where my knee was at, and then deconstructed it. So I had to measure on my body and just kind of guess where my knee was at. While I'm measuring my knee, I realized I don't have nothing to mark this. Like, I couldn't find my marking pens or pencils. I couldn't find nothing to mark it with. So I grabbed some pens and decided, okay, I'm going to use pens to mark this. Literally the worst decision ever, okay? Literally the worst. This part I'm just measuring around my foot just to see like how big I want the belt to actually go, like around my foot, like how wide I want it. Trying to figure out but I also had to make sure it matched up with the amount of fabric that I had. I told y'all it was a bad decision because you see, as I'm trying to mark this, I'm like, how am I gonna mark this in a straight line if I like don't write or draw a straight line on the fabric? So I'm sitting there trying to pin everything in a straight line, lined up to where I want things, and it was taking forever. It was counterproductive. I was working way harder and not smarter. So after a while, I said, forget this. I'm not going to keep using these pens. And I found some chalk that I had and started marking the fabric with chalk. Side note, my knee was just so freaking ashy. I didn't put on no lotion before this video. It was really like in the trenches, like do or die moment, because I only had a few hours and I didn't go buy an outfit beforehand. So this was going to be the only thing that I had to wear to our date night. So now it's time to cut. So I'm finishing up drawing, but right after that, I'm going to cut. And when I cut it, I'm going to make sure that I cut the lines that I drew with the chalk, but I only drew the bell part with the chalk because I was going to cut the leggings like right directly next to it, not leaving any seam allowance because I don't want them to be baggy or have any room. I want them to hug my legs and my butt, so I didn't leave any seam allowance on the actual legging part, like opposed to the bell. I did put some seam allowance on the bottom of the bell, and I did put some seam allowance on the sides of the bell shape also. But as I'm doing it, like as I'm looking back at it, I did not make the bell long enough. Like I shouldn't have cut it across. I should have just let it go all the way to the bottom of the fabric instead of cutting it. Man, I don't see how people on Project Runway do this. Like, the stress was the worst part. I was in there so stressed. I wish next time I'm going to keep some of the background so y'all can hear like how stressed I was. I felt like I was just like finna give up for a second, like just get up and walk out and go try to run to the store because I didn't know what the heck I was finna do. So now I'm trying to line up my waistband. They put elastic in theirs, like the leggings has elastic in it, so it kind of scrunched up the sides. So it was hard for me to get an accurate measurement for it. So I kind of just guessed, like I just went with what I felt like it would have been if it was stretched out. Listen, if completely unprepared was a person, that person would be me, because I did not prepare my sewing machine at all. So that took another like 5 minutes just to prepare my sewing machine. Threading the bobbin, changing the needle, doing everything I needed to do to get it ready to sew. I also didn't unpin the pattern from the leggings. Like, so that took a few minutes to do. I'm just so behind, unprepared, and just working with what I got at this point. So after I get done taking the pattern off of the fabric, I'm trying to see which side is the right side, which side is the wrong side. Because I don't want to accidentally pin the wrong thing together or sew on the wrong side of the fabric. And this fabric was kind of hard to tell that because it's gray. So even the wrong side was gray, but like the wrong side was like this ashy gray. So that was the way that I was able to tell. So now I'm finally sewing. And if you sew, you know, sewing is like 80% prep, 20% actually sewing. I know y'all see that time. It's 5:25. I told y'all dinner reservations was for 7:30. Like, seriously, it's crunch time. I still had to get ready. I still had to do my hair. I wanted to do my makeup, but didn't even get a chance to do that. Didn't even get a chance to put no lashes on. Nothing. Like, at all. Because I still had to get my kids ready um, to go. Just had to drop them off to their aunt. Like, it was a lot going on. But as I'm sewing this, I'm realizing the sides didn't match up. Like, one side was longer than the other. So I'm stretching it, trying to make it line up perfectly. It was a mess. It was a hot mess. I promise y'all, if Christian was here, he would have probably treated me. Like, I feel like I needed his guidance at this point. My level of stress in this part of the video was unmatched. I didn't, you know, set up my iron to iron out the fabric, and it kept rolling over. I probably spent 20 minutes just trying to unroll it. Well, I might be exaggerating. It wasn't like 20 minutes. It might have been 5, 7. But still, time that I needed, like, to be sewing and actually putting it together, trying it on. This part took me so long. Like, the whole time that I was doing it, I was really regretting not plugging up the iron so I could iron the fabric out. It would have made it so much easier, go so much faster. But whew, next time I know I'm going to iron out all my fabric, prep, give myself enough time to prep my fabric. I promise you can know how to do something like very well, but then when that stress takes over, you lose all common sense. Like all common sense goes out the door, out the window, because I don't know why in the world I sewed my band. I sewed it together. I didn't leave a hole to put my elastic through. So I had to, and I was not finna take it apart, put the hole in, re-sew. I wasn't doing all that. That was gonna take up too much time. So I just put the elastic through. I sewed it to the pants from the outside, like to on one side, put a safety pin on the other side, took it around, sewed it to the other side of the line, made it work. So what y'all didn't get the chance to see is me trying these pants on. They was high waters, blood and ankles showing. Like they was so terrible. I almost cried. So I had an idea. I'm like, okay, I gotta make this work. I gotta wear it. I don't have no other choice but to wear it. Like it's almost time for me to start actually getting dressed. So I went to my fabric and I cut out little triangles, to match the shape of the bell that I already made. But I extended it. I made it a little longer. So I took that extended bell and I sewed it to my pants to kind of make an extension to them to make them longer. So yes, y'all, this design was technically a mistake. Like it wasn't a mistake, but it was something that I had to come up with on the fly. It wasn't what I initially planned. And here goes nothing. 5:56. Done. Pants done. At that point, I still have some time to like fix them, but I liked them. Like, I liked how big they were. I liked how long they were. Even though I was stepping on them, I loved it. Like, it was perfect to me. You know, they could have used a little editing though. Like, I could have shortened it just a little bit and still kept that dramatic bottom. But boom, look at the time. 7:39 in the restaurant with it on.
Please me. I don't want your nigga, bitch, I'm teasing. Tryna buzz down this road like my heart, bitch, I'm freezing. Itching for that paper, my palm started bleeding. Tryna drop 100 bands when I walk in anemic. Boss bitch, fold that bitch up like a futon. Can't sell my soul to them niggas with suits on. Talking that shit, get you chewed on. I bring the table to play with some cloth and some food on it, bitches. Let me tell y'all about these bitches. They like fucking on these niggas, knowing damn why they itching in these niggas. Let me tell y'all about these niggas. They like talking tough Tony, but I never pull a trigger like they gun jam.
So guys, you know, a little summary of how my night went. The pants were way too long. I was in the car cutting them with a box cutter because I was tripping over them. They was getting dirty. It was a little hot mess. If Christian was, you know, around, he would have had a field day. Like, I would have blew him probably. I'm trying to think what else happened that y'all didn't see behind the scenes. I think that's it. Like, other than that, like, I got like 3 inches off of them because like then they weren't touching the ground. I could walk freely. It was easy. Well, I wore some dunks, so high top, you know. I don't know if those are called dunks. Look, listen, y'all. I barely know shoes, but you know, I think they was dunks. I don't know. But other than that, it was fun. You know, we went to a paint and smoke. So it was a chill vibe. And I'm gonna post some pictures for y'all. So I gotta keep looking up. This is my first video, so I'm kind of nervous, but so I'm gonna post some pictures and, you know, little boxes to the side so y'all can see. And thanks you guys for watching. Sincerely, Kori. Peace.